Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. This is Kingdom Connections. This is something new that I am trying out, and I want to welcome you guys to the conversation. Um, I want to share and tag those of you that are coming in. Thank you guys for joining us. And I want to let you know that this conversation is going to be so worth your lunch break if you are coming in. Thank you guys for coming in. Those of you, tell us where you're tuning in from, what city, what state, and say hello as you guys are coming in. I'm sitting in my coaching chair, so I'm not going to get excited today. Well, you never know. You never know. Listen, when you get two preachers on here, you never know how the conversation is going to go and what God is going to do. But of course, we yield to his presence and what he wants to do. But I want to welcome you to this broadcast. It's called Kingdom Connections. And today we're going to have a special guest, one of my sisters, my sister tribe sisters, uh, Dr. Bishop Marlyn. She used to be a Thomas, but now she's Wright. And maybe she'll share a little bit of that story for us. But I want to share with you guys my circle. I think it's important that we understand the power of your circle and how your life is a direct reflection of the people you surround yourself with. And so I'm a living witness that as soon as you're ready to expand, you're ready to shift, you've got to invite new people or seek out new connections to make that happen. Um, when you meet a new person, especially when they're sent by God, they represent your next level. And so I want to just share her. Listen, she's busy, she's jet setting, she's all over. She's a resident in two states now. She's a pastor here in Atlanta, and she shares um, a ministry as well that she's helping her husband in Miami, Florida. Listen, she is doing an amazing thing, and they're doing a merge, a life at the point. I'm just super excited. I don't know what all we're gonna share, but I want you guys to come in. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Lanika. Thank you guys for joining me. Lakeisha, Kesia. Thank you guys for coming in. Go ahead and like, share, and let everybody know that we are on the air. This is going to be amazing conversation, and just candid. Y'all know that I'm very transparent. I believe that transparency is part of my power. And I think the more honest you can be, the more power God can trust you to have. And so I want to welcome her without further ado to our broadcast. Listen, y'all have no idea the power that's gonna be on this live. Listen, there she is.
Hey,
Yes.
hey, hey, hey.
Welcome,
Hello,
Miss Wright.
everybody. Hey,
Y'all,
everybody. Hello, hello.
look how beautiful she is. She's got that green on. Now I'm gonna have to cop that shirt now. I'm trying,
I
trying
got
to
you. I got
outdo.
you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the shirt, the blouse. So we want you guys to know that this is a precious gift from God. But she's also, I have the pleasure of calling her a sister. I can call her like, before we get into it, Dr. Marlyn, I want to just share how powerful it is that sometimes your blessing is in the access that you have to people.
Yes.
And I remember when we first met. I don't think you knew me, uh, but I think we were friends on Facebook, or someone shared something on your page, and I'm gonna let you introduce yourself once we get to that part of the story. But I want to tell y'all how powerful it is to be honest with yourself and where you are in your life. Marlyn came in my life probably about 4 years ago, and when I saw her and I saw the way that God used her, I said, I want to connect to her. It's something that God is going to use her to do in my life. And so I've never told her this story. I told her part of the story, but I never told the full story. But I had been in a place for about 3 years once we moved here to Atlanta from Louisiana, where I was separated. I was isolated.
Yeah.
And I had to go through a healing process to where I was ready to embrace. I was ready to add to my circle. I was ready to make new friendships and connections. And I was ready for my next. I knew I couldn't go into my next by myself.
Yeah.
And I think I saw that you had a book launch. It was, I think it was Journey to You. And me and my husband were downtown Atlanta and I tricked him. I hope he's not watching this. But I tricked him. I was like, let's go downtown Atlanta, and just explore. He was like, okay. And then right around the time it was time for your book launch, I was like, hey, let me stop by here. I want to go to this event. He's like, huh? What you want me to do? I said, just take some, take a trip around the city and come back and get me in like 30 minutes. He was like, okay. And I ended up sitting there and just putting him on hold a couple of times, like, just let me wait till after it's done, because I want to take a picture with her. I want to meet her in person. But you were doing Journey to You, and I sat there and sat in the midst of people I did not know. And then we met after you did your intro and you were taking pictures in the reception area. And I just remember us just in that place. You didn't know me, I didn't know you, but I believe that God had connected us for a reason. And then after that, you invited me to lunch, and the rest is history. But I want you to know that that day, I believe my life shifted when I decided to get in that room. When I decided to not have to wait on anybody to go with me, not to feel like that I didn't belong somewhere, but take the chance and make a connection intentionally with someone that I knew had some oil on their life that I needed in my life. So I want to say thank you first before I even give you the mic for just being who you are, and just always being that woman that opens her arms to another woman. You're that woman. You know, what shows up in your life more than ever is your connections. Kind of tell us, first of all, tell us who you are, the people that don't know you, and then tell us how powerful connections are in your life.
Well, first of all, Dr. Rashana, I have to, she's my sister, so we call each other by our first names.
Yeah.
But Dr. Rashana, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to come onto your platform. I don't take this moment for granted. My signal was dropping on and off, so prayerfully it's going to stick. And if it doesn't, I've got my phone right here, and I'll just log off and log back on my phone. So some parts it was kind of dropping on and off. But thank you so much for allowing me to be here on today. I just thank God for you. You are a true blessing to me as well. Just watching what you're doing, the leaps of faith, all the moves you're making. And I'm really excited about this conversation because I truly believe that it's all about connections. It's all about, who God has divinely connected you to, but really stepping out on faith to get there. So I am Bishop Marlyn Wright, newly married, 5 months, almost 6 months. Almost 5 months. It's so married to the most amazing man in the world. I would be, at a disservice if I said anything less. Bishop James Wright, he pastors in Miami, Florida. We are merging together for Life at the Point. I've been pastoring for 21 years. I am an author. I'm a mentor. I'm a national academic dean of a Bible college. I am a mother. One of the greatest jobs that I love. I love being a mom to Mr. Kenny Gaines and all of my bonus babies. Big shout out to my bonus daughter, Samaj Wright, who is celebrating her birthday on today.
Oh, happy birthday,
and I'm a Mimi. I love doing what I do. I am a nurturer at heart. I believe in building sisterhoods. I believe in building women. And I have this saying I tell my Lifeline family, I am behind the scenes, so you see me in the pulpit. I don't have this second and third personality.
Right.
I am who I am. And I love seeing women and seeing men win, Dr. Rashana. You know that. I love seeing people win. And so I'm really super excited about this conversation because as we prepare for Saturday's the Bloom experience, and I'm not gonna take over. Hey, there go my husband. Hey, husband. On here. And so as we talk about it, I really want the women of God to understand, and even the men of God that's watching this, send your wife, to the Bloom experience on Saturday. Make sure that they are in the room. It's all about being in certain settings, in certain rooms, and environments where, leaders are accessible, they're touchable, they're able to pour into you one-on-one, I'm not on no big platform and you can't get to me afterwards. They're whisking me away behind the scenes. I'm right there with you. Dr. Rashana is right there with you. All these other speakers and panelists, we're right there. We want to pour into you. And so it's important that we be in the room. We're not replacing the voice of anybody's pastor or first lady or leader. We're just adding, we're this supplement to kind of help everybody to get to their destiny. And I always tell people this, Dr. Rashana, we are worth the investment. There's no cost that is too much for me. We spend money on hair, we spend money on nails, we spend money on self-care, we spend money on therapy. Why not invest in you when it comes to the word of God? If our children's coach come up and say, hey, they need 5 uniforms and you're going to have to pay X amount of money, we're going to do what we have to do to invest in our children. But Jesus said, love your neighbors, you love yourself. So we have to learn to invest in ourselves and stop nickel and diming, the weight of what, the men and women of God that God bring before us that's accessible, to us when it comes to conferences. So I'm really excited about Saturday's The Bloom experience. So you tell me where we're going.
Listen, that is so much in a nutshell, because when she said the blessing is in the access, I truly saw that in my life. And I was just telling your husband when he preached the house down, listen, at the honorary doctorate ceremony, but I was just telling him, and I think he just kind of looked like, why are you telling me this? But it was something that was on my heart to let him know, ever since I met you, my life has changed, has shifted. So today's conversation is really about how vital are the right connections in your life. You did something for me, and I've never told you this. Y'all, I think Jesus making me come on the carpet and just tell my truth today. Like, I think this is good, because this is all about candid and kingdom conversations. But sometimes we need to tell people how much they mean to us, because we assume that they know, but they don't know until we tell them. But I told you about Journey to You. Well, I have another confession. So Dr. Marlyn invited me to lunch. She said, sis, let's get together to have lunch. And so I'm running late. I text her and I said, hey, I'm gonna be 5 minutes late. I'm thinking she's standing there by herself waiting on me. And I said, so I'm running a little late. And she said, it's okay. We're here. And I'm like, we, and she brings me into this circle of beautiful women I've never met. And, when I sat in the car at first, I'm like, I thought it was just going to be me and her. And I was so, at first apprehensive because I didn't know what to expect, because we all have had the mean girl, encounters. We've had the people that's kind of standoffish. But when I tell you, her circle is a reflection of who she is. And so she brings me into this circle, this warm circle, that's saying, come on, sis. We started taking pictures before we even knew each other's name, and we became this close-knit sister tribe. That's what you named it, sister tribe. And it changed my life. It changed my connections. It changed the way that I did ministry, the opportunities that were opened up to me. My life shifted because you invited me to that table that day. And so I never told you that, but it did. And I want you to just honestly and transparently tell us the power of connections from your own personal experience, divine connections, and what the right connections will do to shift you into your next.
Woo. Thank you for sharing that. That blessed me just hearing it. Because I am one that, and if my mother was on here, she would probably tell you, I've always been like this. To be honest, I have always been like this. I've always believed in the power of sisterhood. I'm blessed to have an amazing sister who's 3 years older than me. Well, we did argue and fuss and fight, and she got mad that I took her t-shirt, I wore it before she had a chance to wear it, but and so, but I'm so thankful that I was really born into a healthy family and understood the dynamic of sisterhood, winning together. Big shout out to my big sister, Jay. She lives in Oklahoma, because I learned from having her in my life, that life is not meant to be walked alone. And
Mhm.
we as women, we're stronger together. It doesn't matter our nationality. Sometimes we think we as Black women, in our church in Miami, we pastor, a multicultural church there. And so, we as women, we're stronger together. And I learned growing up the power of what sisterhood looks like. And it may not be your natural sister, but, I have some sisters that are probably just as close to me as if they are natural sisters. And so, as connections, let's talk about connections, who you're connected with. First of all, a sister circle, can be healthy or unhealthy. So let's just
Mhm.
dismantle the difference. You talked about
Right.
that mean girl, syndrome. One thing, and Dr. Rashana tell you this, one thing that I do not allow from people that's in my life, we don't talk about other people. We don't run anything down. If we have a challenge or issue, with somebody in our circle, we're going to take it to them. We're going to
Mhm.
pray over it. We're going to talk it out. We're not a sister tribe, a sister circle that have an issue with somebody else. We're always there to support each other, celebrate each other's win. We may not always physically be able to be there. Life is just, busy for all of us. And that's one thing about it, because we all are extremely busy, but we
Mhm.
give grace and allowance when we can't be there. And so a healthy sisterhood comes from a healthy person. I've seen women, Dr. Rashana, who are in unhealthy sisterhoods.
Mhm.
They gossip, they backbite, they talk down, they're just mean, they're negative, they're not pushing the other person to their greatest win. And I'm just thinking, like, get out of there, and
Mhm.
find a functional place in life. And so the women that I surround myself with, Dr. Rashana said it, they're a reflection of me. And I
Mhm.
believe that I'm a reflection of them. There's no big eyes, there's no little U's. We don't use titles, we don't use positions. We we honor the offices and the gifts. It's crazy because I just thought about this, Dr. Ashana. One of my high school friends, I've been out of high school now about 30 years. One of my high school friends just posted the other day. If y'all scroll on my page, you'll see it. She just posted a t-shirt that we have. So I started this club along with two other friends in high school called Vrai La Me. And she just reposted the t-shirt, because I still have it back from 1990. And she reposted it. And I started a club, Vrai La Me, which means in French, true friends. And it was for girls. And somebody commented on there, and they were like, well, how can I get in this system? And I'm like, and so my friend, she commented to different. I was like, I guess whatever she said, I can't remember. And so I've always been building sisterhoods. I was a president of that one, always have, because I truly believe in the power of connections. Who you're connected with,
Mhm.
ultimately is going to determine, your success, your stagnation, or your progression. It's
Right.
going to be up to you. They're either going to take you back, they're going to keep you stagnant, or you're going to progress, you're going to move forward. And you have to be connected to winning women who want it. We may not all have it together all the time, but we're pushing each other to that place called destiny. We're
Right.
celebrating each other's wins, and we're seeing the best in each other. And I'm so glad, Dr. Rashana, I still have that picture. I'm going to share that picture with you. I have that picture where you came in the room. It was my Journey to You launch. And I remember seeing you, like you said, we were Facebook friends. And when I saw you, I was like, wow, I was like, she actually came, I was just as excited to see you there, in the room. And from that moment on, we just connected. I believe that it was a God connection that day,
Yeah.
that you stepped out on faith to come. And then God said, hey, invite her, into this sister circle. It's not a closed circle. That's the thing about it. We don't have a closed circle. I was just sharing with my husband before I came onto the live. We're building something great at Life at the Point with our women's ministry there, and it's called Sync, Sisters in Sync, sis, Sisters in Sync. And the
I
thing about
love
it, as I
that.
was sharing with him, I said, we're building a sisterhood. The thing is, no matter where we are, and that's why it's so important. I have to keep driving this home, Dr. Rashana. It is so important that we come into this room on this coming Saturday,
Yeah.
August 31st, the Bloom Experience, because somebody is going to be in that room that's going to have the oil of God, have the push for what you need, have the resources, have the connections that you need. We'll stay at home and we'll just sit there like, oh, well, I just wait. And everybody wants everything to be easily accessible through the live stream. But it's something about being in the room.
The
I'm
beginning
telling you,
room.
got to be there on Saturday, August 31st. Invest in yourself. You don't know what that one connection, Dr. Rashana gave her testimony of that, just stepping out on faith, coming by her, going to that My Journey to You launch by herself, being in a new state,
Right.
all new people. Sometimes we're looking for somebody to come. I've learned, that when you go by yourself, you meet new people. I like being in a room where I'm the only one. Like
Yeah.
I love meeting new people. I'm not people would think that I am a natural extrovert, like I'm just always, I'm more so to myself a lot of times, believe it or not. It's probably hard to believe it or not, but I am a people person. So because I'm intentional about where God is sending me, I'm intentional, and be in the
Oh, it cut out. It cut out, Dr. Marlyn.
key. I think
Right when it was getting good, y'all. You
getting
see?
stuck. Oh, let's
Y'all, just when you know she's getting into the meat of it, it starts messing up and trying to stop from letting her allow her to go forth. But I'm telling you, the women are eating this up. Hello, Monica and Quinn. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Listen, I think she's getting ready to change her her device.
stuck on my end. So you let me know, Dr. Rashana, if I'm stuck on your end.
Yeah, you're still stuck on this end.
Okay, I'm going to log back on.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you guys, she talked about the power of connection. And, we've all had those times in our life where we know it's time for us to shift. But it's going to be hard for you to shift without a new connection. It's going to be hard for you to take what you have right now and reinvent yourself without opening yourself up to something new. And even as Dr. Marlyn was talking, I went back to the time where the enemy had cheated me out of relationships, had cheated me out of rooms, cheated me out of being able to explore and expand because I was so afraid to make connections. I was so afraid. Let me see if she's trying to come back in. Okay. I was so afraid of reaching out and making myself vulnerable. But I'm telling you, those of you, Monica is coming, Shamar is coming. Listen, those of you that understand the power of connections, it's going to take your connections to help you stay resilient in this day and time, and also to help push you and shift you to your next. And so, listen, we are doing that at the Bloom Experience. The reason why I believe that the Lord really gave me this topic, yeah, okay, she's coming in. Let's see if we can get her in. Let's see if we can get her in. Okay. Now we can see you now. But she's still
kind of getting stuck on my end, just so you know, Dr. Rashana.
Yeah. It's stuck on that end.
It's still stuck on my end for some my Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's going in and out. Okay, well, I told the women that, listen, we are not going to be on here long, but y'all know she gave you a snippet. That was a teaser for what's going to happen at the Bloom Experience. She's going to be on the panel, and I'm going to tell you guys, they're going to sweep the room. I'm going to allow those women, the women that I know is part of my circle, to actually come into agreement with you. So we're going to be praying impartation for your ministry, your business, making great new connections. And I'm telling you, you cannot put a price tag on your connections. Your circle is worth more than money in your bank account. And I learned that when I made the right connections, that my money was not going to get me in some rooms, but my connections were. And so I need y'all to understand the power of what Dr. Marlyn has expressed today, because we're going to have to get her to come back on for us to tell the whole story about how, everything has shifted since we met each other. But I believe that in the power of agreement, and I also believe when you do life on your own, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I think even before Dr. Marlyn got married, we were in this tight hub of women, and we visit each other, and we had lunch, and we went to each other's house, and we had prayer, and we just shared some of the things that only another woman that was in our position could understand. It was one of the most fulfilling times of my life, because I finally connected with women that understood my journey, understood my plight in life, and wasn't trying to get me to shrink in the room because they were doing something. And so we are the sister tribe, but we also have other relationships because we aren't territorial. We aren't territorial. We allow other women to be a part of it. Whether we're having something, we're getting together, we invite other women to come in because we aren't territorial women. And so I want to give you guys just the power of connection. Today, we have had Dr. Marlyn on. I don't know if we're going to be able to get her back in, but when you step in that room in the Bloom experience, I want you to come with the idea that you're not going to leave that room without a divine connection. God has somebody there that is assigned to you to help you go to your next level. And I'm telling you, as you continue to trust God and decide to put a seed in your own field, many times, and y'all, I'm not going to go into preaching mode, but many times the reason why we won't see a harvest is because we have not put a seed in our own field. We are sowing into everyone else's field but ours. And then we look around in our field and say, Lord, why don't I have a harvest? And it's because you have not sown into your own field. Your children are flourishing. They have a harvest. Your husband is flourishing. He has a harvest. Everybody around you is going forth and moving and growing and remaining resilient because they have exactly what they need. And so I'm challenging those women of you that are on here today. If you have not gotten your seat for the Bloom experience, it is this Saturday. You want to grab your ticket. You want to grab a girlfriend, because when you go up and elevate, you don't want to elevate alone. I thank God that Marlyn said, sis, let me elevate and let me take you with me. Oh, y'all don't get me started. She didn't just say, I'm going to elevate. She said, I'm going to elevate and I'm going to take you with me. And so many of us have elevated together. We have elevated because we decided not to go alone, but we decided to go in a group. And I'm telling you today, you guys, even as you come into the Bloom experience, there's going to be a divine connection, whether you call them a Jonathan, a Naomi, a Deborah. Listen, whatever you need, there's going to be someone there that's going to agree with you, connect with you, and speak into your life so that your life will never be the same. If you have not gotten your ticket yet, I want to invite you to go to my website, www.drrashonasmith.com, and secure your seat today. All right, y'all. I think she's coming in. Let's see if we can get her in here.
Hopefully it won't drop my family. So listen, again, that's all right, because I'm going to put it in the
Yes, it's
I
still
put
free.
it up there. It's going to be powerful, life-changing. My signal.
Yeah. Yes. It's okay. It's okay. I want to tell y'all, as you're getting your tickets, because I know women are getting their tickets, we only have 2 more days and we're going to close registration because of our catering numbers. We have to close registration. So go ahead and get your ticket. If you already have your ticket, you should have received the email with a special offer for your girlfriend as well. So get that ticket, get your vibrant colors. This year, our elevation print is leopard. Y'all. So I want you guys to come, be beautiful, fill the room with your beautiful presence, and we're going to have an amazing time. I'm going to be coaching. We're going to have the women's panel. I'm going to have some breakout sessions for you guys. We're going to have an amazing time, and impartation and prayer is going to take place at the end with the leaders that I have invited to be a part of the Women in Bloom panel. You do not want to miss this. You do not want to miss this. And I want to tell y'all before we get off, we didn't get to tell our story that we're birthday twins. Like we're all like, it's amazing that we all connected and we have the same birthday month. So we celebrate our birthdays together. But God did a thing when he connected me to Dr. Marlyn. And I'm so forever grateful because I think it wasn't just about me and her connecting, but it was about the tribe that was going to come from us connecting. My tribe, the people that I knew became part of her tribe. And we have shared some of the most beautiful moments together, whether it was a wedding, anniversaries, celebrations, her wedding. Like, we have been on this journey of sisterhood since. And so I want to invite you guys to get your seat inside of the Bloom Experience, and make sure that you invite a sister with you, and make sure you get the ticket by Thursday. We're going to close the room and the ticket sales on Thursday around noon. So make sure you go ahead and get your ticket if you haven't already. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much. If you don't mind, yes, it's okay, Dr. Marlyn. I see you. If you don't mind, you guys, go ahead and share this and like it. Those of you that are close, or you need to be here, you need to drive to Atlanta for this master conference. Listen, we are combining the master class and the conference. So that means that we're going to have some parts of a women's conference and then parts of a coaching master class. And so God has given me this hybrid because I'm an unconventional prophet. God has given me the ability to coach prophetically. In other words, he has created a place where I can use my calling and my career and invite women into a space that they know if they're the same and they're looking for someone to push them in unconventional ways into their career and in their calling, they need to be in connection with us. So I want to invite you guys. Lastly, thank you so much, Dr. Marlyn. She says, big hugs, all of you. I'll see you Saturday. Yes, sister, we will see you Saturday. Thank you, Dr. Marlyn, for coming on Kingdom Conversations. And y'all never know. I have a degree in broadcast journalism. So you never know. God may have me doing this later on and just having some conversations with people that are in my connections or my circle that I know could contribute to the conversation. So I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for joining me, Chanel, and all of you. I will see you Saturday at the Bloom Experience. And tomorrow, we're going to have Dr. Nedra Buckmeyer on as well for Kingdom Conversation. So I will see you guys tomorrow. God bless. Bye-bye.